A very good evening from wherever you are watching us. This is the Prime Edition. We do sincerely apologize for beginning the bulletin quite late due to technical challenges. Nevertheless, we are ready to inform you of what will be coming up in the bulletin tonight. As the country braces for planned demonstrations on Thursday, fresh appeals for peace continue to dominate national conversations, with the Kenya Human Rights Commission cautioning against violence targeting civilians, while matatu operators and business community call for Kenyans to shun destructive protests and safeguard lives and property. Those stories coming up during the Prime Edition, including business and sports in just a short while. But we want to begin with our first story, where Interior Cabinet Secretary, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, is accusing a section of politicians of covertly bankrolling armed groups to disrupt Thursday's protests while purporting to publicly call for peace. In a briefing with security agencies, Murkomen says they are actively pursuing the financials of violence. At the same time, he confirmed they have given the okay for a peaceful memorial to be held in honor of the victims of the 2024 anti-finance bill. His statement came barely hours after Nairobi Regional Commander Isa Mahmood had declared the planned protests unlawful. Here is Yusuf Farah with the details.
With less than 24 hours to the planned demonstrations, the Interior Ministry say police have given the green light for families and friends of the victims of the June 25, 2024 protests to hold a peaceful memorial Thursday.
Police are therefore ready to provide security and guide the protesters tomorrow according to their requests.
Murkomen also revealed intelligence reports point to a plot to hijack the protest financed by a section of the political class, warning against such plans.
We are aware and we have information about some of these political actors are busy mobilizing criminals to come to the street. That's why I told you the DCI is pursuing them, and a number of them will be arrested tonight and more tomorrow.
He further said a section of politicians from counties near Nairobi are planning to destroy businesses that have refused to fund them to advance their partisan agenda.
The possible motive is that there are a number of businesses and businessmen who have refused to support certain politicians financially and their political ideology. In the process, they want to use the protest and the excuse of tomorrow's protest to target their businesses as a way of sending a message and blackmailing other business people that they must support his tribal agenda.
He also took a swipe at a section of the media calling for accurate and balanced reporting in coverage of the protests.
You people, particularly, not all of you, but a few of you who want to mess up the media space, will quickly post that people have been abducted when they have been arrested. Number two, when we arrest them, you quickly profile them as human rights defenders, even criminals. And many of these criminals have gotten away with heinous crimes.
As regards claims that the state is working with hired guns, this is what he had to say.
The government of Kenya does not condone or work with goons or criminals. The police are under instructions through the policy guidance of the Cabinet Secretary to decisively deal with all goons without fear or favor.
He assured Kenyans of their security, urging them to go about their businesses. Yusuf Farah reporting for Prime Edition.
Still on tomorrow's planned protest, the Nairobi Regional Police Commander Isa Mahmood has declared Thursday's planned Gen Z commemoration gathering and demonstrations illegal. Addressing the media at Police Pavilion South C, Mahmood disclosed that the police have not received any formal notification about the gatherings or protests, which is a mandatory requirement by law.
On Wednesday, 2 police commanders, led by the Nairobi Regional Police Commander Isa Mahmood, convened a security meeting ahead of Thursday's planned Gen Z commemoration at the DCI Academy in Nairobi. Soon after the meeting, which took several hours, the host Nairobi Regional Commander would emerge and officially deliver their resolutions, which declared Thursday's planned Gen Z protest null and void.
I want to tell Kenyans that We have not received any formal notification from any quarters in all the police stations within Nairobi and the neighboring counties. That means we are not aware of anything. The alleged commemoration, because I'm not aware of anything. The alleged commemoration, we're told, is supposed to take place on 25th.
Mohamud cited the Public Order Act, noting that failure to formally notify the police in advance renders all gatherings illegal.
The IG does not receive notifications. For clarity, any of the protest, any of the picketing, for purpose of law and order, that notification in the law is presented to the officer commanding station, the OCS.
The regional police commander, however, warned anybody out to cause chaos during the anticipated demonstration that the law will not tolerate any criminal activities.
This is what we have agreed, that we must have law and order. We will not watch our city burn. We will not watch our country go to the dogs.
Anybody breaching the law, anybody who goes outside of the law, the police will be there to ensure that that does not happen at all.
Last week, relatives and friends of victims of the June 24th Gen Z demos, led by lawyers James Orengo and Martha Karua, submitted a notice of planned protest to top police commanders at the Nairobi Police Service headquarters.
The Kenya Human Rights Commission is warning against any form of violence targeting civilians ahead of planned demonstrations this Thursday. This comes as a section of matatu operators, the business community, and Nairobi ODM leaders intensified calls for Kenyans to shun violent street protest. Joseph Okongo with the details.
Wednesday dawned with Kenya Human Rights Commission warning against any form of violence against protesters who participate in the Thursday's protest to honor those who died in the anti-finance bill protests. The human rights group said they will deploy agents on the ground to document any incidences of violation and ensure perpetrators are brought to book.
And therefore we are going to be holding to account whoever is involved tomorrow with the violence against women and also violence against any other Kenyan.
The remarks come amid rising calls from Kenyans to shun violent protests. A section of Nairobi Orange Democratic Movement leaders led by Makadara MP George Aladwa urged citizens to ignore calls for demonstration and maintain peace.
Tunasema kesho hatutakuwa katika hii maandamano, na sisi tunasema vizuri na tunasema na uwazi ya kwamba tuko nyuma ya our president William Samoei Ruto.
At the same time, a section of youth in Kibera called for normalcy, arguing that previous protests have left ordinary wananchi counting losses.
Tunaomba tu mavijana wenzetu, maandamano kuna venye inatuadhiri na sio mzuri. Hata kama saa hii tumesimama hapa, tunasema kesho tusiende maandamano, tufanye biashara.
Na mimi vijana na waomba, msikubali kutumika kwa kisiasa za kishenzi.
Hakuna Gen Z hata moja mwenye atarauka kesho kuenda hiyo maandamano ya Wamunyoro.
Similar calls were made by leaders in Embakasi Central who urge residents to maintain peace or boycott the planned demonstrations.
And mine is just to urge the residents of Umoja 1 and the residents of Embakasi West and the residents of the entire Nairobi County to keep peace.
Wakati wowote kama Mkenya na kwa kila jambo ambalo unafanya unahakikisha kwamba hauhatarishi maisha wala mali yako ama mali ya wengine.
In Kisumu County, the Lakeside City Management, business operators and a section of residents also championed for better conflict resolution mechanisms.
You know, commemoration can be in different things. You can be doing candle lighting. You can identify an environmental corner. You can plant trees there. It's a emotional event and sympathizer. But it's not a tool to be used to cause more problems.
For the youth, my take is we need to find a way to engage in a proactive way of doing things in life.
Elsewhere, Thika Business Owners Association said traders have resolved to keep off to safeguard their lives and businesses.
And we are telling our business people, please, better be safe than sorry. So please try to keep off the demonstrations.
Ni right ya kila mtu kuandamana na ifanyike vile itafanyika, lakini biashara ya mtu amejenga biashara kwa miaka mingi, usikuje kuharibu na siku moja.
And the Kikuyu Council of Elders called on Inspector General of Police and the Independent Police Oversight Authority to take decisive action against goons.
Those who feel that they would like to celebrate the anniversary of the 2024 killing of the Gen Zs, we pray and we urge them to demonstrate, if they have to, in peace.
Alafu naweza omba wale polisi ambao wako pale nje, kazi yenu ni kutulinda, sio kutuua sisi kama vijana. Tafadhali, please give us the security that we need.
Joseph Ohungu for Prime Edition.
Well, and that story by Joseph Okungu brings us to the first break on Prime Edition. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us if you can.
Many workers access their retirement benefits when switching jobs, unaware of the impact it has on their future. Taking out your retirement savings too soon reduces the income you will have when you retire, leaving your future less secure. Have you thought about the lifestyle or income you want to retire with? The earlier you start saving, the better. And the more you save, the more secure your future will be. Increase your savings today and live your golden years the way you've always dreamed. For more information, visit our website www.rba.go.ke, call our toll-free line 0800-720-300 or email info@rba.go.ke. Secure your future. Secure your peace of mind. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
Wakenya, ni wakati mwingine wa kuhakikisha kuwa umefile KRA returns. Je, upo rada una challenge yoyote? Usiwe na shaka. KRA wakishirikiana na KBC Channel 1 wanakuja hapo ulipo kusaidia kufile returns na kulipia ushuru wako. Jiunge na msafara wa KRA Roadshow, uwe fiti mambo ya returns.
Tarehe 26 mwezi Juni, safara wetu utaanzia Siaya Town Stage. Kisha tuingie Bondo Town, tuteremke hadi Ugunja Market. Tuingie hadi Ukwala Stage, Yala Market, Ambira Stage, Ramogi Stage, Bar Town, Karemo Market. Kisha tumalizie Got Regea Market.
Tarehe 30 Juni kwa mlangoni. Usingoje hadi dakika za mwisho. File KRA returns mapema. Ishi bila stress. Jijue, jibeta. KRA, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
Away to safety by Opoku.
Intelligent defender from Ghana. You go chasing the ball, you get picked off.
But what we do know is that Ghana have players like Semenyo who could hurt England. Brilliant piece of play by Bellingham there. Very composed. They're not booing him, they're saying Jude. In it, the poll will open live on the Sporty TV YouTube channel for you to have your say.
*177# or download My Power app to access Kenya Power services fast and easy. Kenya Power, nuru ya Kenya.
Welcome back to the Prime Edition. We continue with the news where Chief Justice Martha Koome challenged the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission to crack the whip on rogue politicians who are using criminal gangs to disrupt peace during the electioneering period. Speaking in Nairobi during the launch of IEBC's strategic plan, the CJ said time had come for the commission to act in line with the provisions of the Code of Conduct to ensure every politician is held accountable for their actions and that millions of Kenyans are not held hostage by a few rogue individuals. Here, her remarks come as the Democratic Party leader, that's Justin Muturi, accused IEBC of failing to conduct proper stakeholder engagement when coming up with strategic plan that launched on Wednesday.
The Electoral and Boundaries Commission on Wednesday launched its strategic plan for the year 2024 to 2029 and the election operation plan of 2025 to 2027. The two documents are set to provide a roadmap for the Commission's activities ahead of the 2027 general election. The launch was, however, faced with opposition from the Democratic Party leader Justin Muturi, who wanted the process halted, alleging lack of proper stakeholder engagement.
It is therefore deeply troubling that the IEBC seeks to launch an elections operation plan for the 2027 general elections without demonstrating meaningful consultation. Many of us don't know what is contained other than the sketches that have been outlined.
However, the IEBC maintained that all stakeholders, including political parties, were involved in the conception of the document.
We consulted all these people, including special interest groups, as we crafted this strategic plan. I have mentioned here political parties, and there are many, and we invited all of them, and they came, and they saw, and they gave their input.
Chief Justice Martha Koome, who was the chief guest, used the forum to call out politicians who have been hiring criminal gangs to destabilize the country.
How come our lives are disrupted by politics? We have less than 2,000 people who earn a living from politics, but they disrupt the lives of 55 million people.
Koome called on IEBC to use the Code of Conduct to sieve out individuals who are not fit to hold office.
The Commission possesses both authority and the responsibility to act. So please don't cry and say your hands are tied. The Commission must therefore send a clear and unequivocal message that those who engage in violence will face swift and appropriate sanctions regardless of their political affiliation, status, or influence.
The opposition is rooting for a return of voters' card to be used in the general election.
We don't want a situation where somebody comes to the polling station without a voter's card but carries an ID card for purposes of identification, as is then issued with a ballot paper. Those who will be issued with ballot papers must be those who have provided evidence that they are registered voters. And the only document that they issue, which they can identify somebody as having registered, is the voter's card.
The elections will be held on the 10th of August 2027, with the official campaign period set to commence on the 29th of May 2027 and close on the 7th of August. Voter registration will be closed on the 12th of June 2027.
We are determined as a commission to give you the best election Kenya has ever had.
Please have faith in us.
The launch of the two documents now provides a roadmap for the Independent Electoral Commission ahead of the general elections that will be held on the 10th of August 2027. Nancy Okware reporting from KICC, Nairobi.
Thank you, Nancy Okware. Now, ODM party leader Oburu Oginga has defended the government's decision to compensate victims of protests and human rights violations. The ODM leader, however, said those who committed the heinous acts should be held accountable. He spoke after receiving the report from the Professor Makau Mutua-led panel of compensation experts. The panel disclosed that it was finalizing on the assembly and demonstration bill aimed at regulating protests.
A day before the planned commemoration of victims of June 2024 Gen Z protest, ODM leader Oburu Oginga on Wednesday received the compensation report from the Makau Mutua's panel of experts, which revealed that the disbursement of funds has already kicked off.
And as I speak to you today, payments are going out to those who are afflicted. This process is going to continue on a rolling basis for as long as it takes.
Mutua saying that all legitimate claimants, including police officers, will not be left out.
We are talking to the victims about, whether their name should be made public or not. Where a victim objects to their names being public, they will not be made public.
I want to beseech our brothers and sisters who are rushing to media stations, complaining, trying to put an impediment to this. There is no rush. We still need people to come forth and give their decisions.
The panel also disclosed that it was finalizing on the assembly and demonstration bill aimed at regulating protests.
We can start to see a change in the governance culture of our country, in which if people go out to demonstrate in the morning, they can go out, they can demonstrate, and they can go back home safely to their families without injury or death.
On his side, Oburu said the government's move to compensate victims of protests and human rights violations was a show of remorse and recognition of wrongdoing.
Let us take the token and then we demand more. When a government has recognized that there were some wrongs done to Kenyans and they have agreed to budget for it, and they have agreed to pay it, to compensate, to pay it out.
He, however, warned that the token should not be used as an excuse to violate the rights of innocent protesters and peaceful Kenyans.
And our policemen should also be trained to protect people who are demonstrating. They should not, the people are not their enemies. The people are their employers, and they should protect them.
Give us Minor Prime Edition.
Away to safety by Opoku.
Intelligent defender from Ghana. You go chasing the ball, you'll get picked off.
But what we do know is that Ghana have players like Semenyo who could hurt England. Brilliant piece of play by Bellingham there. Very composed. They're not booing him, they're saying Jude in it. The poll will open live on the Sporty TV YouTube channel for you to have your say.
Star 977 hash or download my Power app to access Kenya Power services fast and easy. Kenya Power, nuru ya Kenya.
And a very good evening to you. This is Business News on Prime Edition. My name is Ndota Mokami. Let's take a look at what is happening in the world of business. Now, the Agriculture and Food Authority has commissioned the National Horticulture Traceability System to improve Kenya's compliance with international export standards. AFA Acting Director General Kalistas Kundu says the system provides end-to-end tracking from planting to harvest, capturing farm activities such as spraying, fertilization, irrigation and grading.
Kenya's horticultural sector earns about 1.7 billion shillings annually and remains one of the country's key foreign exchange earners. The Agriculture and Food Authority officially rolled out the digital horticultural traceability system, aiming to secure Kenya's agricultural export market by monitoring produce from the farm to global consumers.
The system will allow the importer to know the kind of chemicals that we are using to control pest and even the fertilizers that we are using in planting and to tracing of the same.
The system will enable exporters and importers to verify the exact origin of horticultural produce, including farm location and production practices.
So the traceability system is going to bring a lot of change. In addition, besides using it to trace products, we are also now going to use it to process import and export permits. Initially, we've also been doing it using a system that has had challenges, but this system will help us to increase efficiency and to fasten the export and import processes, because it will all be in the system. So it's tied down right from the farm to up to the permit that we are issuing.
The stakeholders said the rollout will strengthen accountability and boost confidence in Kenya's horticultural exports.
Because it's a national system, then trust will increase, and therefore the importers on the other side will trust a system that is funded and supported by the government. So that way, they are able to trust it more, and therefore they will be able to accept more of our foods based on that traceability system.
The system will improve efficiency, reduce costs, and eliminate paperwork through real-time digital processing, flag irregularities in real time, preventing exports that exceed recorded farm output, and enhancing enforcement. Ezekiel Owino for Prime Edition.
Konza Technopolis has deployed drones to disperse seed balls across degraded section of its wildlife conservancy as part of efforts to accelerate ecological restoration and enhance biodiversity. Konza Chief Manager Physical Planning Anna Mosimi says the exercise highlights the growing role of the Konza National Drone Corridor as a testing ground for innovative drone applications across sectors, including agriculture, environmental management, and research. The exercise saw 75 kilograms of seed balls containing indigenous tree species broadcast over targeted areas of the conservancy, with officials citing drone technology as a faster and more efficient method of restoring vegetation cover across large tracts of land.
Using drone technology, we are going to broadcast those over the 6,000 seeds within an area of more than 400 acres, and the 400 acres are within the conservancy space of the Konza Technopolis.
The seed balls contain a mixture of seeds, charcoal, clay, and compost designed to protect young seedlings, retain moisture, and improve germination rates compared to conventional seed broadcasting methods. Konza says the initiative demonstrates how emerging technologies can be deployed to support environmental conservation, land restoration, and sustainable natural resource management. The government is calling for the adoption of technology-driven solutions to strengthen environmental conservation efforts, improve agricultural productivity, and support long-term sustainable development goals. Elsewhere, Kenya's fledgling cooperative sector is facing increased cybersecurity risks as institutions accelerate digital transformation. Regulators and industry leaders are now pushing for stronger safeguards to protect member savings and financial data. The concerns dominated discussions at the 2026 Africa SACCO Regulatory Roundtable in Nairobi, where stakeholders warned that cyber threats are evolving faster than many cooperative institutions can respond.
The latest Communications Authority of Kenya cybersecurity report indicates that the National Cybersecurity Agency detected more than 3.3 billion cyber threat events between January and March 2026. P.S. Kilemi says digital transformation without adequate safeguards exposes SACCO members to financial losses and data breaches, calling for stronger cybersecurity management and enhanced oversight across the sector.
The expansion of SACCOs must be accompanied by stronger safeguards. Growth without governance, innovation without security, inclusion without consumer protection can expose members and wider financial systems to an unacceptable risk. Our responsibility as government and regulators is to therefore to create an enabling environment in which SACCOs can grow, innovate and compete while remaining safe, transparent and accountable to their members.
The investment that we need to be making to ensure security of our systems sometimes is just as good as the amount that you spend when you're actually acquiring the new system. That just shows that the technology space is not easy, it's not cheap, and hence the recommendation for shared services.
Further, African Confederation of Cooperative Savings and Credit Associations called for harmonized regulatory standards across Africa and adoption of data-driven supervision models as cooperative financial institutions continue their digital transformation journey.
We have a clear opportunity to expand financial wealth, resilience, and well-being through the SACCO model. Yet, this potential is constrained by regulatory misalignment, which limits scale, innovation, and cross-border inclusion.
Financial institutions remain susceptible to phishing scams and system vulnerabilities. Trevor Ngendo for Prime Edition.
Kenya has taken a major step towards addressing long-standing capacity constraints at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport following the signing of a 154.2 billion shilling expansion agreement with China Road and Bridge Corporation. The project seeks to address growing passenger and cargo traffic at the country's busiest airport, which currently handles about 7.5 million passengers annually, despite rising demand from tourism, trade, and regional travel. Trevor Ngendo with more details.
Under the modernization program, a new passenger terminal will be constructed alongside upgrades to existing airport facilities and improvements to both airside and landslide operations. Upon completion, JKIA's annual passenger handling capacity is expected to rise to 22 million passengers.
This development is therefore not merely an infrastructure project. It is a strategic national investment that will secure Kenya's competitiveness for generations to come.
Transport Cabinet Secretary Davis Chicho says the expansion is designed to strengthen Kenya's position as a regional aviation, trade and logistics hub. The contract was signed by Aviation and Aerospace Development Principal Secretary Teresi Mbaika and CRBC General Manager Yu Xiandong, with Transport Cabinet Secretary Davis Churchill witnessing the ceremony. This comes in the wake of renewed public scrutiny over procurement and financing arrangements. In response, the Ministry of Transport says the procurement process followed the completion of the JKIA master plan in February this year and included a competitive bidding process in which more than 40 firms participated in a pre-bid conference held in April, with evaluations conducted on both technical and financial criteria. The government says financing for the project is being structured through the Trade and Development Bank and the Africa Finance Corporation, with airport-generated revenues expected to play a key role in supporting the financing model. The planned modernization program is expected to be completed within 3 years. Trevor Ngendo for Prime Edition.
Now, for centuries, the Great Wall has served as China's first line of defense, protecting its people and defending the boundaries of one of the world's oldest civilizations. Today, its role has evolved. It no longer guards against invading armies. Instead, it welcomes millions of visitors seeking history, culture, and inspiration. Our reporter, Regina Manyara, toured one of the great wonders of the world and shares her experience with us. Take a look.
Stretching across mountains as far as the eye can see, this centuries-old wonder continues to draw millions of visitors from around the world. Once built to protect an empire, today connects people from every culture and nation, united by a shared sense of wonder.
My name is Boris. I'm happy to be here at the Great Wall of China. It's my 40th year.
Every step along its ancient stones is a reminder of human resilience, ingenuity, and determination. The climb is steep, the path demanding. However, with every ascent comes breathtaking views and a deeper appreciation of the world's greatest engineering achievements. For many, reaching the top is more than completing a trek.
Behind me is the iconic writing of Chairman Mao, who said that if you have not been here, then what can I say? You've not been to China or you've not been to the world yet.
Some journeys are measured in kilometers. The journey up the Great Wall of China is an experience that stays with you long after you have taken your final step.
And for me, Regina Manyara from Kenya, the Great Wall of China is where the globe comes to meet.
After the grueling hike up the wall, local cuisine comes in handy. Regina Manyara reporting for KBC Channel 1.
Thank you, Regina, for that report. And that marks the end of business news tonight on Prime Edition. But remember, World Cup, Eco KBC. And now I will be handing you over to my colleague Okumu, who's on the other side of the studio, ready with the latest in the world of sports. My name is Ndota Mokami. Do have yourselves a lovely evening.
And yes, indeed, it is time for us to take a look at what's happening in the world of sports. I'm Bernard Okumu. Now, Kenya's junior starlets produced a dominant display to defeat South Sudan by 7-0 and claim third place at the Sekafa Under-17 Women's Championship in a one-sided playoff match played at KMC Stadium in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Brenda Chieng scored 5 goals to inspire Mildred Cheche's side to an emphatic victory and a podium finish. Both teams entered the encounter seeking redemption after suffering defeats in their respective semi-final matches in a bid for a podium finish. Kenya had endured a disappointing 3-0 loss to Uganda in the semis, while South Sudan were beaten 4-0 by Tanzania. Uganda were crowned winners after defeating Tanzania by 3-0.
Tena Achang ameweka ndani. Kuna nini tena? Kuna nini tena hapo? Wakona ni mlinzi wa kati. Ameweka kona ndani, gonga brakicho kule, amekaa tena kwenye neti.
And to World Cup news now, where England were held to a goalless draw by Ghana in their 2026 FIFA World Cup Group L encounter at Boston Stadium. Ghana's resolute defense frustrated England throughout the contest, restricting them to their first shot on the target in the 57th minute while posing a constant threat on the counter. The result keeps England top of Group L. However,